Ghirock logging in. So the E3 press conferences have finished. Except for the Nintendo one, I'm probably not going to get a Nintendo console or any way to play those games. So not too interested in that. But I will try and talk about the things that I was interested in. I watched a lot of the Giant Bomb kind of talk over it because I really dig their point of view on stuff and getting their expertise. You know, they've been in the business for a long time, and so that kind of like sort of molded some of my viewpoints, but I guess not really, because I'm really into very fast-paced first-person shooters, mobility, parkour, sort of different ways, like vehicles, you know, like Titans in Titanfall, which is dope, as opposed to like kill streaks. Not really, you know, because everyone eventually gets a Titan. You know, and it's not like, oh man, if I got a nuke instead of a Titan, you know what I mean? Anyway, so we'll start with just go in order of days and stuff. So EA, of course, Titanfall 2, they start off with that. Start off with the multiplayer trailer, and then they go into single player. It looks like a great game. I already liked Titanfall 1 when they just had parkour and a run button, but now they have a grappling hook, which is crazy cool. You can use it to get higher, of course, obviously as a grappling hook. You can also use it to get to your Titan faster, which is pretty cool. So you can let it roam around a little bit. I imagine you can still ride on enemy Titans a little bit easier with this. There's new... I don't really care about the sort of the personal weapons, you know, assault rifles, shotguns, whatever. I do hope they keep that dope-ass revolver and don't limit the rate of fire. They didn't seem, from what I could tell, show anything about cards, but they showcased one pilot ability. It was a decoy, essentially. A decoy combined with stealth, which is a little bit new. It's kind of like two abilities put together, but I imagine it's a time-based stealth. There's some gameplay footage out there, at least I know from Polygon, but I haven't watched any of that, so it's a little bit... I might be behind the times now. There seems to be new grenades. One of them of note is a sort of black hole grenade. And I don't know if that'll work on pilots or if it's just the random mobs, but it just pulls people up. It pulls them kind of close. It's kind of like Zyra's thing, and it lifts them up in the air. They mentioned 6 mech classes from the multiplayer trailer. You can see an ogre, so that's in the game. There's kill animations both for pilots and Titans, much like Halo Reach's assassinations. It appears to be that there's new abilities for Titans. It was kind of, you know, like they had that vortex shield and like smoke, but they have like different things where they interact with the environment. I think the ogre slams the ground, sort of like Karn from Warcraft 3. That's a very old reference. It's Reinhardt. He has Reinhardt's ult. There you go. There's a shoulder-mounted laser that was really good for attacking pilots that were trying to ride on you, and like he charged up a chest beam. That was really cool. Oh, some other mobility things. You can slide and kick, and slide and shoot. I mean, run speed and like kicking people in the fucking chest was really cool in the first game. So that was great. Battlefield 1. If you like Battlefield, you're gonna like this Battlefield. It looks like there's sort of, you know how people had like a first aid and shit and like repair tools. That slot, like you're gonna have a secondary and a primary, but it looks like the other things that you carry with you can be a little bit different and varied as opposed to previous games. Moving on to Bethesda, the last thing on Sunday, they announced very shortly Quake Champions, which is a hero version of Quake. They showed like this very short trailer, which essentially looked like a Quake version of Tracer, and set up this decoy to take out this one guy. That's about all they talked about currently, but QuakeCon, I think is in August, so we'll see more of that. Whether or not they'll go with loadouts as opposed to drop points on the map where you get weapons, no one knows, it's all speculation, but expect powers. That's the definitive thing. They're hamming up all the competitive stuff, tournaments, and leagues and whatever. So there's that. Dishonored 2, it looks like a more combat-able version. I know there are penalties in the first one, even though I didn't play it. If you just killed everybody, it changed like the whole nature of the world. I don't know how that's going to be affected in the second one. There's this one power, especially called Domino, where essentially whatever you did to one person, it did to everyone around them, so that seems fucking broken. There's like a darkness monster too, like the camera got really low profile, like on the ground it was crawling, you could see its hands, and it just killed this one guy. Microsoft, nothing too much, just really cool about crossplay. Scalebound, they showed a demo of that. I'm interested to see more of that, but it didn't look that great. Lawbreakers on PC has a lot of competition because it was sort of like the really first mobile shooter of recent, you know, like recently it's kind of like big profile, like it's getting a lot of publicity. When Titanfall 2 came out, I was like, this looks like the Hellion or Assassin class. And then they said Quake Champions, like, well, there's the big daddy right there, so that's it's kind of a trifecta right there. Ubisoft, props to Aisha Tyler. Oh, and props to Laura Bailey. I hope that's her name. I'm pretty sure it's Laura Bailey. She was she did the demo for Gears of War 4 on stage during the Microsoft press conference. A game a series I've lost interest in. The first one was really good, and then I kind of just didn't care anymore. Wildlands, For Honor, and Steep. Wildlands, of course, is the open world-ish. No, it's an open world. You're like a clandestine organization. I don't know if you're DEA or whatever, or you're FBI, or you're part of the government or whatever. You're just stopping cartel from selling cocaine in like South America, Mexico, something like that. There's like, if you've ever seen Breaking Bad, it's kind of like Breaking Bad plus the Blacklist, because there's a guy literally called the Stew Maker. He makes people in the soup. The fuck, spoilers for that game and that show, and spoilers for Breaking Bad. There's like that one point where like they brought these two like Hispanic badasses with like metal on their shoes, and they shoot that one cop guy. It's like, there's a guy that looks straight up like that. He's like super tight blazer, and like he's got a cross on his face. Visually, really cool. Gameplay, it's like, I guess, if you ever played the multiplayer for Just Cause 2, that's what I can imagine it is, but it's got more direction, you know. It's like combine that with like Battlefield, at least from what I've seen. Steep is it's a mountain sporting racing game. So like skiing, snowboarding, paragliding, wingsuits. The greatest thing about it is during their demo, people were just straight up like cracking their head on rocks and dying. But there was no blood, and they never addressed it. Yep. Sony's press conference, probably the weakest so far, at least from watching footage. I watched the GameSpot thing because Giant Bomb was watching GameSpot. Just not a lot of games, not a lot of hardware besides the VR, but I mean, we're still gonna get a lot of footage of the booths, and we'll go from there. I kind of got the wind from my wings taken. I was talking to my friend Ty, and he's like, yeah, we don't have PS4s, so it kind of doesn't matter what we think about these games. But the two things that I was most excited about were because they showed a lot. They showed a lot of Horizon, but they didn't show a lot of God of War. But that looks. I want to see more of that. Definitely. And yeah, that's about it. I feel bad about Lawbreakers because I was really hyped about that, but I feel like Titanfall 2 has kind of taken that spot. But I imagine, depending on how they handle the Titans and how they handle... I mean, it depends on how they handle the Titans, because I've seen a decent amount of Lawbreaker stuff, but the thing about multiplayer shooters, like, reacting to the people in the game, that's really where it all goes about. I've seen the modes in Titanfall before. I don't think they're gonna add anything else drastic. I don't care about campaign. I just hope it's not what they did with the first game. And I know it's not, because there's fucking Optimus Prime in there. So that's cool. Well, I mean, I guess Titanfall 2 is the only thing that really matters, because I know Quick Champions is not going to come out this... Never mind, there's a lot of time in this year. That's right, they're going to talk about it in August. But I know Lawbreakers might not come out this year. Maybe it will. I don't know. I know Titanfall 2 is coming out this year. I think it's October or November. September? It's not December. Because it's got to compete with Battlefield. For Honor Alpha/Beta sign up. It's open. Same with Steep if you're interested in that. But that's about it. That's just a short overview of what happened and what interested me in the E3 2016 press conferences. Thanks for listening. Ghirock logging out.